I suffered so much pain.
So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
Security sucks.
I have my rights. So that's what I want. Get police. Yeah, because no, it's not your brother.
Bitch, I have her on video.
It's not your brother that you need to go disconnected. Right?
You can stand in line?
Watching the world burn, watching the world burn. November 18th, 2025. Let's get into it. Apologize for not being out on a hike. I've been pretty sick for about 3 days, so I decided to make an indoor video. I'm finally feeling well enough to get this together. The good news is I've spent 3 days watching news, and because I can't sit there and watch movies all day long. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I always forget to say anything about that in the video. But anyway, that was the video up front with the Epstein victims. Thought it was very powerful. The thing that baffles me is it's not going all over the internet. In fact, I found it on a very obscure X channel that I wasn't even following. It was only because General Flynn forwarded that video. And I follow General Flynn. So that's, that video was actually by Open Source Intel. And it says, Jeffrey Epstein survivors released a video calling on Congress to release the Epstein files, which that's definitely going to happen. So I just did. And then, of course, the second video there was just for fun. Wasn't that woman batshit crazy in the airport? I mean, God. That's why I'm so glad I don't have to deal with the public. You know, one of the things that was nice about a computer career was I sat behind a desk 8 hours a day, but at least I didn't have to deal with the public. So, and then, of course, I'll read to you what Flynn said. The Epstein affair is not going away, and we cannot allow two systems of justice to exist. The elite social class of pigs that could rape our children must be dealt with, and swiftly. Totally agree with that. And then, of course, you know, we got to remember why the Epstein file thing is so damn toxic for Trump. Well, this is what they campaigned on. Cash, Dan Bongino. Well, I don't think Dan knew he'd be part of the FBI, but Cash and certainly Trump and Pam Deep State Blondie, they all said, oh, yeah, we're going to release everything about Epstein. You know, oh, yeah, they certainly did that. Well, when they didn't do it, and then Trump came out and said, nothing to see here. These droids or, you know, whatever, in Star Trek, you know, it's unbelievable that he thought that he could just put it to bed and say it was a Democrat hoax. I mean, I don't know what the hell he was thinking about. We're going to get more into the Epstein files here in a bit. So that's why that has gone so crazy. We're going to get into the Zionist stuff too also. This isn't going to be, I got a future video coming out about Gaza. We'll get into that. So this was interesting. Eric Adams, New York City mayor, actually traveled to Israel. He's still mayor of New York City. You know, the guy that they call Mondami, he hasn't taken over yet. They call him a communist. He's just a socialist Democrat is what he calls himself. But he was in Israel kissing the wall, and he said, you know, I was mayor of New York for Israel. Those weren't his exact words, but that's basically what he said. So he was presiding over New York City for Israel. What kind of a messed up statement is that? I mean, no wonder he didn't even run again. I mean, you know, I don't understand these politicians. And then we've got, we're going to cover this in the Gaza video coming up. And I posted it on my X channel if you want to watch it. But now we have what's an anti-Zionist America PAC. And they're going up against 3 Israeli PACs, which if you didn't know, it's not just a PAC. There's 2 others, and I couldn't list them for you. I didn't put them in my notes right here. And if you want to follow them on X, it's the AZAPAC. AZAPAC, and I think that's the website too, AZAPAC. I just hope that this is for real. They put up one hell of a video talking about Zionism in the United States and how the Zionists control all of all of the U.S. Congress. I mean, the billions upon billions of dollars that we've sent to Israel while our roads deteriorate and we're $38 trillion in debt. And we're gonna get more into that, but. So that was interesting. So this APAC, I can't wait to cover this in my next video on Gaza, or the extermination of the Palestinians, whichever way you want to look at it. The other thing, this was a Trump lie. And so I don't want to be anti-Trump, but I'm telling you, he's making a lot of mistakes. The reason a lot of people don't understand for the government shutdown wasn't about giving health care to illegal aliens. And that's what Caroline Levitt, she came out in a press conference and said, this is all about giving health care to illegal aliens. No, it was about the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, premium subsidies, okay? And the structure of a continuing resolution with Republicans asking, and of course the Republicans were saying they wanted a clean short-term funding bill, and Democrats were pushing to maintain and expand the ACA subsidies. Well, you might not know what the ACA subsidies are. Okay, to make the Affordable Care Act, it should be Obamacare. Let's just call it I mean, it's not the Affordable Care Act because it definitely wasn't affordable if you're on it. To make it more affordable, the government subsidizes it. So a lot of people that are on the Affordable Care Act, they get subsidies. Now, the way those subsidies work is they go to the healthcare companies. All right. Well, okay, so your premium, which would have been $2,000, might get reduced to $1,100, okay? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous either way. So without the ACA subsidies, it's going to impact millions of Americans. Now, what would be a better way to do this? And Trump, like I said, Trump sometimes got some good ideas. He said, let's give the ACA subsidies to the American people. Now, that's a truthful statement. Saying that this whole shutdown was about giving health care to illegal aliens, that was bullshit, man. That was bullshit. So they're actually lying to the American people, and most Republicans don't even know. It just pisses me off. I hate it when I'm lied to. I don't like being lied to, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats or Trump or anybody. And that just pissed me off. So, but the impact, if you do, as of January 1st, your premiums, if you're paying $1,000 right now, you're going to be double. A lot of people are going to be paying $2,000. And I think a lot of people are just going to drop their health care at that point. I don't see how that's going to go unless there's another bill that comes across to just maybe just provide the ACA subsidies. Oh yeah, and I wanted to kind of talk about this because you might want to say, okay, I'm all anti-Trump. No, the first 4 months of Trump's administration were fantastic. Elon Musk was in there all excited, and he put out that video FAFO. That was one of the greatest videos. It was AI generated, and he was in there doging the government, and everything was going great. And Trump was firing all cylinders, and he was talking about getting out of Ukraine. I was getting upset because he was still continuing to give money and weapons to Israel to exterminate the Palestinians. But, you can't have everything. And I knew that the powerful Israeli lobby, you got to remember the billionaire Zionist funded Trump's campaign. So that was very difficult to cut off that funding. But I wanted to just say that, Trump was going great, but things have turned south. 100% south. Trump is destroying MAGA and the Republican Party. So nobody can say this better. And this is kind of a long clip. I don't like taking this much material from anybody. But Alex Jones posted, I know a lot of people, I don't like Alex Jones. Alex Jones is great. He's been right about a whole lot of things over the years. And he does a lot of great investigative reporting, whether you like him or not. And he put this video up, and he just says it all better than I can. And this is a long clip. If you don't want to watch it, you can fast forward through it. But let's watch, and I'll read it to you first. Trump's attempts to excommunicate Marjorie Taylor Greene, he's making a massive misstep. Alex Jones warns Trump should be distanced himself from never Trumper neocons like Lindsey Graham, Mark Levin, instead of attacking his bestest champions. And of course, I would include Ben Shapiro and Mike Johnson. And of course, he's also attacking Thomas Massie. But let's watch that video by Alex Jones right now.
Elon Musk came in. Mark Mitchell and other top pollsters confirmed what I saw with the grassroots. Elon Musk came in. Mark Mitchell and other top pollsters confirmed what I saw with the grassroots. Doge was super popular, doing an amazing job. There was some vestiges of the Republican Party, blue blood, a corrupt establishment left, and they were successful at running Elon Musk out. And you've seen things go downhill since then. Elon's ready to spend billions on U.S. elections, local elections, city, county, state, Senate elections. We need it. And now Trump's giving him an ass head he wanted and backed off some. It ain't enough. And it's the same crap. I get Trump's got to be super confident and just goes with his instincts, and that's good overall 90% of the time, but it's not some of the time. I've been proving around the Epstein stuff. So MTG is progressively follow what her constituent says, what she said, and Trump comes out and says, my supporters aren't my supporters if they want to investigate Epstein. There's nothing there. Shut up, or you're not a supporter. You went down like 6-7 points with your main supporters in mainline polls and scientific polls I trust. And it kind of recovered for a while, and then Kirk got killed. That became the big issue, and Trump boosted back up. But people are focused on this Epstein thing. And so MTG's like, no, I think for all these women abused, we need to bring it out. I don't think Trump's in there, but I don't know what he's doing. And then she's now released the text messages that pissed Trump off, where she's like, hey, the Clintons are in there, man. The deep state, they did it. You got to go after them. And he comes out and says, well, she's gone crazy. She's crazy, MTG, and I'm going to support whoever primaries her. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So this is as big as saying you disavow your supporters that want Epstein investigated. Really? So not involved with Epstein anything illegal, but now involved with the cover-up, now flipping out when they double-crossed you, the Democrats, so now you want them criminally investigated. Good. Now you're on the right track. See, I told you. So he's calling Thomas Massie of Kentucky and MTG of Georgia, who are good Americans, real people who don't compromise like Ron Paul. Trump calls Massie the mini-me of Senator Paul, who overall supports Trump, but hey, we're not in a cult. This is wrong what you're doing here on some issues. And then Trump has all these people around him. Oh, yeah, get him, ostracize him, kick him out, primary him. Yeah. It's just like MAGA's gone crazy with Kash Patel using his girlfriend as the front, his law firm, FBI law firm, suing Kyle Seraphin, the FBI whistleblower, who they said was a hero, now they hate him, and suing Elijah Schaffer. In Schaffer's case, not even criticizing Patel's girlfriend, just posting a picture of him above somebody's text saying she should be investigated to see if she's Mossad. Well, you're the FBI director. You're a single man. Normally, in intelligence, the FBI's involved in that. You don't even put people in senior positions that haven't been married for many years because statistically they use sex to control people, number one. We're not saying she's an agent. I have not really seen evidence of that. But now that they're doing this, I have to go, ooh. Just like all the neocons threatening, Tucker and Megyn Kelly, you're a fox we got to take out in the hen house and neutralize you. I'm like, oh, God, maybe Israel did do that. I mean, because Kirk was doing what Tucker's doing now, just being honest about Israel, being involved in our politics and saying it's wrong, and you're threatening him. We're going to deplatform you. We're going to kill you like a fox in a hen house. I haven't seen real evidence Israel did. I got criticized the first few days. People said it was Israel. And I said, well, I need to see evidence of that. I mean, that's what I do. So give it time. But no, there's no doubt now Kash Patel is compromised. But the point is MTG is not going to go down with a ship like this. She has her integrity. And so here's a message to Trump. You've endorsed Lindsey Graham, who said, fuck Donald Trump, screw Donald Trump, never Trumper, not just 9 years ago, not just 8 years ago, but when they stole the election from you 5 years ago. And then Lindsey Graham kisses your ass and does all this, and you defend him, and you defend these other neocons, and then you say Thomas Massey and MTG aren't MAGA? That's what Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro are saying. They're super unpopular. Their once big audiences are shadows of themselves. The only relevance they have is attacking those of us that are popular and issuing threats. So, again, I'm not throwing baby out the bathwater. Because of the Tom Homans and the Tulsi Gabbards and the RFK Juniors. And overall, we're moving the needle massively. We're having huge reform, cutting the deep state's funding. On one side, I am happier than a pig in poop. But on the other, the course you're starting to go on Trump, if it keeps going, is bad, bad, bad. Just like I told you, making a deal with the deep state and the Democrats to back off the Epstein thing, and they'd be nice. You got screwed in the butt. Made a deal with the devil. He took that pitchfork and shoved it right in your arse. And now doing this to MTG, and I know Trump's tactics. He'll be mean to somebody for a while, and then they course correct. He's nice to him. She ain't going to course correct Trump. She doesn't want to be a darling on Bill Maher in The View. When she won on Bill Maher in The View, she said, I love Trump. Overall, he's great, blah, blah. I just want him to do better on these policies. I'm trying to help him. You call her nutty. You call her crazy. You do all that. No, what you're doing is destructive. What you're doing is wrong. And I'll defend you all day when you're right, just like I just did for 2 hours. But I need you to succeed, big guy. And so you're going to get no apologies from me. If you don't like what Massey's doing or she's doing some things, just leave it alone. So she put out these text messages and said, this is when he really got pissed. Check the flight logs of Epstein's plane. Bill Clinton on there like 26 times. Hillary too. For many of us, releasing the Epstein files has always been for the women who are victims. She said the same thing on there of Jeffrey Epstein. But also because we believe that Democrat bad guys like the Clintons will involve with him. Epstein was a spider that wove the web of the deep state. Lean into it. In every single interview I have done, I have defended President Trump. I've said over and over again, the women say he did nothing wrong, and their attorney says he's the only one who helped. And the Democrats had 4 years to release the files, but did nothing. Stop ignoring the women. Many of them literally voted for Trump and to say so publicly. Yeah, like, why would you do this and hurt yourself and the country? Why would you do something like this? It's just terrible, Trump. Lightweight Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, green grass turns brown when it is to rot, betrayed the entire Republican Party when she turned left, performed poorly on the pathetic View, and became the rhino that we all know she's always was. But not Lindsey Graham, just another fake politician. Why do they have J.D. Vance in the new South Park having sex with Trump? He's like a baby, too. It's like pedophilic because they're scared of Vance. Why didn't South Park do one with Trump and Lindsey Graham? Instead of Satan getting pregnant from Trump, Lindsey Graham is going to have the Antichrist with Trump. South Park doesn't want to attack Lindsey Graham. President Trump, have you impregnated Lindsey Graham with the Antichrist? President Trump, have you been with Lindsey Graham in the Lincoln bedroom? Is he like Rosemary's Baby, chestating the Antichrist right now? Inquiring minds want to know, President Trump, are you secretly in a relationship with Lindsey Graham? That's a joke, folks. But the corporate media will take it and run with it. That's fine. My point is politically, Trump is in bed with the goblin. My famous rant. Pull up Alex Jones' rant in bed with the goblin. They made music videos out of everything. Pull up Alex Jones' goblin music video. And I explained as a Mordor analogy, we don't expect Trump going into Mordor to not get some goblin blood and slop and vomit on him while he's cutting him up. But we don't want to catch him kissing a goblin or catch him in bed with a goblin. And in the case of Lindsey Graham, we have caught President Trump politically in bed with a goblin. And as bad as it is, it may be Trump that's pregnant with the Antichrist sired by Lindsey Graham. In Trump's colon right now may be growing the Antichrist, a combination of Trump and Lindsey Graham and the Neocons. In fact, this is a polyamory. It looks like Netanyahu was in on it, and by some satanic alchemy, the sperm of Netanyahu and Lindsey Graham combined together and impregnated Trump with the Antichrist, and a Jared Kushner clone is going to pop out of Trump's butt in 9 months. All right, that's all a joke and satire. My point is, politically, Trump is doing what the neocons are doing, going after his own party for being true and trying to keep on the straight and narrow. And that's wrong. We take you now live to the year 2016 as the President-elect Trump is about to take office. We said we don't expect you to not get dirty, but just don't kiss goblins and don't get in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, succubus with goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. Dump it. Charging into a goblin's nest of goblin vomit and slop and blood on it, especially up to his ankles. Trump charging into a goblin's nest of goblin vomit and slop. Goblin vomit and slop. I'm not expecting him to not get dirty slop. Kissing goblins, appreciating goblins, succubus with goblins, in bed with a goblin. Kissing goblins, appreciating goblins. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, 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 bed with a goblin. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin. But in reality, spiritually, he's out of bed with MTG, more and more in the American people, and he's in bed with Benjamin Netanyahu and Lindsey Graham.
Okay, so that was kind of a long window. But then, of course, Trump's getting attacked on all sides. Now, the Alex Jones video might appeal to people from about 40, maybe a few people around 60, but it's going to be between 40 and 60, mostly in the 40 to 50 range. Because anybody over 60, they're the boomer generation, and they don't even know where to get news. They still watch MSDNC, CBS, ABC, CNN, all the stations that only get a couple hundred or 100,000 views or less, whereas you got people on YouTube getting 1 million views. The boomer generation's lost, man. They don't even know what's going on in the world. But then you've got, and if you didn't recall, in my last video, I think it was, I talked about Nick Fuentes, and he's become a sensation. But the thing is, he is 40 and below. So anything 18 to 40, he's coming across on them. And I want you to, especially if you're a boomer, this is what he's presenting to the 18 to 40-year-olds. And he's burning Trump to the ground, man. I mean, this is unbelievable. So let's watch Nick Fuentes right now.
And I had people last year, friends of mine, tell me, you're being disloyal to Trump. No, you've got it wrong. Trump has been disloyal to us. What more do we owe this person? Seriously. How many of you got fired from your jobs, expelled from your school? How many of you got hit in the face, lost friends because you supported Trump? How many of you went to jail in the Capitol, lost a social media account? How much acrimony, how many problems has the Trump movement created in your life because you supported him? And how have we been repaid? Well, let's see. When BLM torched every city, Donald Trump let it happen because he thought it would be better for him in the election. Donald Trump was the father of the vaccine and the COVID lockdown. He didn't build the wall. As a matter of fact, he didn't even get illegal immigration under control. He gave Venezuelans TPS status before millions of them came here during the Biden administration. We were disloyal to Trump? No, Trump was disloyal to us. He did not use greatagain.org to fill his administration with his voters. He filled it with Bush and Rubio alum. He filled his White House with GOP staffers who cut taxes for the corporations and moved the embassy for Israel. He gave Ukraine lethal aid. He let BLM destroy the cities. He let Pfizer invent the RNA vaccine. And you say that Trump is owed our allegiance? What more do we owe this guy? Then Trump is reelected in spite of it all. In spite of all of that cowardice and treachery, no wall, no mass deportations, we're still in Iraq. In spite of all that, he didn't even pardon his supporters that went to jail on his behalf, although he could have. In spite of all that, Trump is reelected while defending the vaccine and his legacy. And how does he repay it now? He immediately hires Sriram Krishnam, who wants to replace us with H-1Bs, John Ratcliffe at CIA, Mike Waltz as the National Security Advisor. He attacks Project 2025. Then he bombs Iran. Then he cuts the corporate taxes again, buries the Epstein files. Serves you right. You trusted Trump. You can't trust Trump. He's not loyal. I had friends of mine say, "You're not loyal to Trump. We're still trusting the plan. Mr. President, I support you." And these people have watched as Elon has stopped supporting him, as Tucker has stopped supporting him, as Candace Owens has stopped supporting him. And now Marjorie Greene has stopped supporting. I guess they're all traitors. I guess they were all wrong. And what does Trump even stand for anymore? I said this earlier in the week. Trump is not the be-all, end-all. We supported Trump because of what he represented. We didn't vote for Trump because he was an obnoxious boomer. We voted for Trump because he was going to put America first. He was going to end mass migration, end the foreign wars, end free trade. He was going to end the globalist corruption in the government. Now none of that is happening. We do not have a tariff schedule. There are more wars now than there were at the start of all this. He's in favor of, they want to bring in more legal immigrants than ever. They want to keep the illegals here. They haven't even started on the wall. And now MAGA is about covering up for Epstein and doing Israel's bidding. No, Trump betrayed us. And that's, in some sense, it's not okay that he did it, but we will be okay.
All right, so that was Nick Fuentes. And I tell you, Trump's in trouble. They're saying that 80% of the 18 to 40-year-olds will not vote Republican in the midterms as of right now. Now, that could change if Trump comes around, which he kind of has done something here recently that was good, and we'll get to that. Here's another one that's Trump has gone crazy on. You got the H-1B visas, and this is very close to me. I was, in my job as a Unix administrator or a PeopleSoft administrator. Actually, I was doing the encryption. I was the audit. I know these things don't mean audit administrator. I had 4 hats when I was at Lear Corporation, and they brought in 3 guys from India on HB1 visas, and they didn't fire me. They did this. What they do with corporations is they'll lay off people that are making high salaries, and they replace them with people on these HB1 visas. So, but then Trump, he came out and he was talking to Laura Ingraham, and we're going to get this video here in just a second, and he said that Americans are too dumb to work many jobs. Are you too dumb as an American to work many jobs? I don't think I am. In fact, I had a bunch of stuff in the works, and I bet it actually cost Lear money in the long run, because I bet in the long run they were paying those 3 Indians more than they were paying me. And I could have done the work of those 3 people, at least for a while, until they got spun up. Because it takes a good 6 months when you start a new job, and especially if you're from a foreign country and they probably didn't know anything about PeopleSoft or Unix administration. These are things that probably aren't taught in India. But anyway, they just thought they were doing the right thing. And he said, he said, and also Trump is also talking about, once again, amnesty for illegal aliens. And when he campaigned on illegal aliens and deporting them from the country. He's completely flip-flopped on the illegal immigration and HB1 visas. You wonder why he's losing popular support. And so this is the video. And of course, this is really American, and he's the one who posted this. In an unbelievable moment, Trump disses the American workers, insisting he has to bring in foreign talent. When Laura Ingraham says, we have plenty of talent, Trump says, no, you don't. No, that's not America first. Make sure everyone sees this. Let's watch this short video now.
My dear fellow Americans, I'm introducing a bill to completely eliminate the H-1B visa program, which has been riddled with fraud and abuse and has been displacing American workers for decades. There will only be one exemption in my bill, and it will allow for a $10,000 per year cap on visas issued to medical professionals like doctors and nurses who provide life-saving care to Americans. However, even this $10,000 per year cap will be phased out over 10 years to allow us time to build our own pipeline of American doctors and physicians. My bill will also restore the original intent of the visa, for it to be temporary. These visas were intended to fulfill a specialty occupational need at a given time. People should not be allowed to come and live here forever. We thank them for their expertise, but we also wish them well so they may return to their home country. My bill will take away the pathway to citizenship, forcing visa holders to return home when their visa expires. In order to build our pipeline of American doctors and medical professionals, my bill will also prohibit Medicare-funded residency programs from admitting non-citizen medical students into their programs. Just last year alone, there were over 9,000 doctors in the U.S. who graduated from medical school but were left without a residency placement. Meanwhile, in 2023 alone, there were over 5,000 foreign-born doctors who received residency spots. This is entirely unfair, and it's America last. My bill will help mitigate the shortage of doctors and nurses in our country, the shortage that we face, while at the same time serve as an off-ramp from our reliance on foreign workers by allowing us time to fill our residency programs with American doctors. Now, this will completely end the H-1B visa program in all other sectors in the job force and in the workforce. This is America first. It's time to put American citizens first instead of foreigners first. And this has gone on, and this has been an abuse for far too long. Americans deserve a future, they deserve a chance, and I believe Americans are the most talented people in the world, the most creative, and I want them to have their American dream. Thank you.
H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration, because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Was that unbelievable? You wonder why Trump's losing support? I mean, oh my God. So, and then I just wanted to kind of read a couple of people that are talking about the same thing that I am. X is just awash with people. There are people, there's all kinds of X posts with people burning Trump MAGA hats, setting villages or vestiges of Trump on fire. I mean, the rebellion of MAGA is just, it's gone batshit crazy. So if you're still hanging on to Trump and his Zionist administration, I'm telling you, they're going to get walloped in the midterms unless they change course. But here's Tony Sir Yuga. The number one source of outrage in MAGA right now is simple. Trump is governing like a globalist, while American workers drown in inflation, drug overdoses, and economic despair. Trump pours all his attention into foreign causes. Trump tweets obsessively about Israel. Trump spends hours in meetings about Venezuela. Trump plays world negotiator like it's a role he's auditioning for on television. He's called himself the world leader, by the way. Meanwhile, East Palestine is still poisoned. The border is still open. Wages are still flat. Interest rates are still suffocating families. Housing is still unaffordable. Food prices are still absurd. The working class is still on life support. Wasn't that amazing? And I think that was a MAGA supporter. Then I wanted to get a leftist Democrat and what he had to say about Trump. So you see that, I mean, the Democrats are already against Trump, but it's the same talking points. So there's going to be a huge coalition of what used to be MAGA supporters, and of course the Democrats. And I'm telling you, the Democrats are going to sweep the midterms. And this is Jimmy Dore. He's a comedian. I like him. He's okay. Trump, in less than 10 months, has already smashed his own movement by putting Israel first and covering for the Epstein pedophiles, covering up the Charlie Kirk assassination for them, bombing 2 different countries for them, censoring Americans for them, deporting college students for them, continuing to fund a genocide for them, bailing out Argentina, implementing DEI for them, plus exploiting the deficit while cutting health care and adding $200 billion for the war, actually supporting $200 billion for the war machine, which wiped out all of Doge savings. And now he turns on Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who are actually supporting the platform Trump ran on. Just stunning. I couldn't agree more. I wonder what J.D. Vance is thinking. Well, J.D. Vance ain't going to do shit. Not with Trump doing all these things. But, so we're going to get into why Trump is targeting, in my belief, okay, and other people's beliefs, okay. I'm not basing this just on my opinion. So why is he targeting Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey? Well, many speculate it's because of Netanyahu's control over the U.S. government. Both Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey have been critical of Israel funding, Israel first, and Israel's actions like the extermination of the Palestinians. And of course, during this post, I have the picture up now of Trump kissing Netanyahu's butt. I was surprised that didn't go viral on X, because that's what Trump does. And it seems to me like Netanyahu has complete control over the government and Trump, for sure. And of course, that post, I said, what can you say? Israel first, Ukraine second, Argentina third, and America last under the Trump administration. So, okay, we'll take that picture down. All right, this is Shadow of Urza. And so I wanted to get a couple of these posts. Representative Thomas Massey says his showdown with Trump traces back to the 3 pro-Israeli billionaires with Epstein ties who are now bankrolling his opponent to push him out of politics. Massey is warning Republicans that Trump's grip on power has only a few years left and that they should vote to release the Epstein files instead of protecting pedophiles. The record of this vote will last longer than Donald Trump's presidency, and we got a video of Thomas Massey on the vote. Let's watch that.
And I'm joined now by Republican Congressman Thomas Massey of Kentucky, who led the effort to release the Epstein files. Congressman Massey, thank you for being here. President Trump fought long and hard to prevent your discharge petition from going through. You won that battle. Now, what happens? How many Republicans in the House follow your lead and defy the president on this?
I think we could have a deluge of Republicans. There could be 100 or more. I'm hoping to get a veto-proof majority on this legislation when it comes up for a vote. And, the president's been saying this is a hoax. He's been saying that for months. Well, he's just now decided to investigate a hoax, if it's a hoax. And I have another concern about these investigations that he's announced. If they have ongoing investigations in certain areas, those documents can't be released. So this might be a big smokescreen, these investigations, to open a bunch of them as a last-ditch effort to prevent the release of the Epstein files.
I mean, it is extraordinary to hear him demand an investigation and only mention Democrats, only mention his political opponents. But you're saying he may not really even want any investigation. He wants to prevent the release. Why does he want to prevent this? What is he afraid of?
I've never said that these files will implicate Donald Trump. And I really don't think that they will. I think he's trying to protect a bunch of rich and powerful friends, billionaires, donors to his campaign, friends in his social circles. And that's my operating theory on why he's trying so hard to keep these files closed.
What do you think is actually in these files? I mean, we've seen so much Epstein material, from the criminal cases, the stuff that just came out this week, from the estate. What do you think is left?
Yeah, I don't have to guess at what's in the files. I've talked to the survivors through their lawyer, and we know there are at least 20 people in those files. There are politicians, billionaires, movie producers who are implicated criminally, who haven't been investigated. And it's up to the FBI, not the survivors and the DOJ, to release those names, or at least to investigate them. And when I see Donald Trump announce a bunch of investigations, I don't see him going after these rich elites that are implicated in these files, according to the survivors.
The president has gone after you in some deeply personal ways. I mean, attacking you over and over again, even attacking you for, regarding your wedding, your recent wedding, which, by the way, congratulations. What do you make of all that? And he's obviously supporting your primary opponents. I mean, what kind of retribution are you facing?
My wife told me, she said, "I told you so. We should have invited Donald Trump. He's mad that he didn't get an invitation." So we're taking it with a grain of salt. He's being a bully, or trying to be a bully. And they're trying to beat me here in Kentucky. But here's what's interesting. The people financing this campaign consist completely of 3 billionaires, and they're all in the Epstein class. In fact, one of them is named in Epstein's phone book, not the secret files that the FBI is keeping, but in Epstein's phone book. So it's a small world. Dogs don't bark at parked cars, and we are winning. I'm not tired of winning yet, but we are winning. And not only the speaker, but the attorney general, the FBI director, and the president himself and the vice president, they're taking a big loss this week, because after months of fighting, I am winning this week with Ro Khanna. We're forcing this vote, and it's going to happen. I would remind my Republican colleagues who are deciding how to vote, Donald Trump can protect you in red districts right now by giving you an endorsement, but in 2030, he's not going to be the president, and you will have voted to protect pedophiles if you don't vote to release these files, and the president can't protect you then. This vote, the record of this vote, will last longer than Donald Trump's presidency.
Okay. Now, Congress is going to vote to release the Epstein files. And the reason, and Trump came out and told Congress, go ahead and vote to release the Epstein files. Well, guess what? They're not releasing the Epstein files. The only thing that's going to come out is the unclassified documents. Now, what do you think is going to be in the unclassified documents? Ain't going to be shit there. So, and of course, the question I have is, why didn't Trump just release the unclassified documents to begin with? And even the unclassified documents will probably be unredacted or redacted. Who knows? So we're not getting any of the classified material. So this is it's almost a waste of time. All right, so let's get into Tucker Carlson. What the hell was going on that Thomas Massie is a target? This is actually from Adam and Media. But Lindsey Graham has a Trump endorsement. By the way, if you didn't know, Lindsey Graham is a cross-dresser. Many people think he's gay. I don't know. I know he's a warped into warmongering lunatic. All of the members of Congress that I know, Massie is the most principled. If Lindsey Graham continues to get elected, then the whole MAGA thing is totally fake. And then we got the video of Tucker Carlson talking about Thomas Massie.
So Massie has gotten in a fight, like a personal fight with the president. And unfortunately, I think it has gotten personal. I should say I don't agree with Massie's more libertarian than I am. But of all the members other than you of the Congress that I know a lot of them, he's the most principled. He's also a thoroughly decent man, like actually. And his personal life, and I know a lot about it, is like one of the most impressive things I've ever heard. He is self-reliant in the most American sense. This is a guy who lives off-grid in a house he built himself, and every one of his votes is a vote on principle. So I don't know how you couldn't admire a guy like that. I get that he annoys the president personally, got it. But I don't think there are many people in the country who live out Donald Trump's own stated principles more precisely than Thomas Massie does. What the hell is going on that he is a target, but Lindsey Graham has an endorsement? And by the way, I just want to say clearly, I will do everything I possibly can to make sure Lindsey Graham is not reelected. Not because I like Lindsey Graham personally, he's a super charming, nice guy. But if Lindsey Graham continues to get elected, then the whole MAGA thing is totally fake. It's just fake. So like, what is this?
All right, let's keep going. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene has come out and said that Trump has put her life in danger. And she put this post up, and I want to read you the whole thing because it's not just her that, because before the left was doing this, but now it seems like people on what we call the right or the far right are doing the same thing. Now, if you didn't know, one of the things that they do, because, somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene or, whatever, Chuck Schumer, they've got some security. And, and so what they can do is to pardon my French, fuck with that security is they can make pizza deliveries. And it's kind of a method of doxing somebody because the pizza delivery guy, the security doesn't know if Marjorie Taylor Greene ordered a pizza. So anyway, the hoax pizza deliveries have started now to my house and family members. We also received a pipe bomb threat on my construction company's office building. If you didn't know, Marjorie Taylor Greene's a huge business person. She's a multimillionaire. And she contributed millions to Trump's campaign. President Trump's unwarranted and vicious attacks against me were a dog whistle to dangerous radicals that could lead to serious attacks on me and my family. Unfortunately, I've been down this road before. As a matter of fact, as I campaigned all over the country and defended President Trump, and she did, I received dozens of swatting calls at my house and my family members' homes, along with these hoax pizza deliveries. But even more severely, I have received some of the most death threats of any member of Congress that led to multiple men being convicted and serving time in prison. Now, if you didn't know what a swatting call is, somebody calls in and says something's going down at Marjorie Taylor Greene's house. And so the police have to respond, and of course they show up at the house and they got their guns drawn because they think there might be somebody there that's got her, her under threat. And if something happened and there was an accident, they could shoot Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's it's called swatting. Hopefully we'll find these people and put them in jail. All of that came from the left. Now that President Trump has called me a traitor, we're going to get that video, which is absolutely untrue and horrific. Mark Levin has been calling me a traitor, and so have other prominent, likely paid social media activists. This puts blood in the water and creates a feeding frenzy. And it could ultimately lead to a harmful or even deadly outcome. Also, the timing of this just happens to be days before we take the vote on releasing the Epstein files. I love America and the American people. I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, and I always do. I am not a traitor. However, when the President of the United States irresponsibly calls a member of Congress of his own party traitor, he is signaling what must be done to a traitor. I fought harder than anyone to help President Trump get elected, and I support his administration and the promises we made on the campaign. I am a Republican in good standing, have paid all my dues to the National Republican CC. I don't know what the CC is for, a conventional committee or something. My voting record is one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, and I'm very proud of that. The toxic and dangerous rhetoric in politics must end, and we need healing in this country for all Americans. And and then this is a post by Shadow of Urza. President Trump calls Marjorie Taylor Greene Marjorie Traitor Greene and says he doesn't believe her claims that her life is in danger. Trump adds that he doesn't think anyone really cares about her. I care. I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's good looking. And I think she's America first, and I think she's MAGA to the core. So you can call me whatever you want. Well, you can call me asshole. Everybody else does. Let's watch that 14 seconds from Trump.
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Traitor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
All right, so there you go. And then we got another one of Trump traveling overseas, and he comments on Marjorie Taylor Greene just saying, oh, she tries to call me. I ain't got time for her. If I don't go over and deal with China, we could have a war. Just total bullshit. Let's watch that video.
That would be happening. And by the way, I stay home 98% of the time. The last thing I want to do is travel 22 hours in an airplane, as nice as this plane is. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene is not anyway. I mean, she is a very different thinking than I have. Something happened to her over the last period of a month or two where she changed, I think, politically. I think that her constituents aren't going to be happy. Already, I have people calling me. They want to challenge her to a race in her district in Georgia. And, that's too bad. She's lost a wonderful conservative reputation. But when she says, don't go overseas, if I didn't go overseas, we might be in a war right now with China.
All right. And then we got Marjorie Taylor Greene talking. I don't know why she was going on CNN. Well, maybe Fox News wouldn't put her up. That'd be my guess. And, of course, CNN, the Democrat, anything that goes against Trump, they're going to put it on TV. So she's going to the platforms that will platform her. Now, she's only talking to boomers. If she really wanted, well, she actually was on Tucker Carlson, but not since Trump called her a traitor. She did an interview on Tucker Carlson. Now, she needs to get on Joe Rogan right now. That's how you get the message out. Rogan appeals to just about everybody, except the boomers. Like I said, they're too stupid to know how to get anything. They don't even know what YouTube is, or Rumble for that matter. But let's just keep going. So this is her on CNN.
I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected. And I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration. And I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country. And that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations, and I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files. And I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do my small part to get the files released.
Okay, so I just wanted to hammer on, because I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. I wanted to hammer on this. And then this is Sprinter Press. And we got another one of Marjorie Taylor Greene. And this is why Trump has come out against her. I'm telling you, she's been firing on all cylinders. Marjorie Taylor Greene blasts Trump for cozying up to Al-Qaeda's al-Julani. This past Monday, on the Marines' 250th anniversary, if you don't know, that's November 10th. I was pissed off, man. I'm a Marine. And Trump's fucking welcoming a damn traitor terrorist lunatic that chopped American heads off into the White House. That's, pardon my French, that's fucked up, man. All right, so I agree with her on this. When he honored the new Syrian president, who is the Al-Qaeda terrorist who was wanted by our government for years with a $10 million bounty up until March of this year. I'm very much against that. Marjorie Taylor Greene slammed Trump al-Julani meeting. And we got the video of her commenting on it. And I agree 100% with this.
And I can disagree with the president at times, particularly this past Monday on the Marines' 250th anniversary, when he honored the new Syrian president, who is an Al-Qaeda terrorist and was wanted by our government for years with a $10 million bounty up until March of this year. I very much am against that. I think that was very hurtful to the great men and women who served over in the Middle East and were sent there, and many of them that were killed and injured and live with PTSD to this day from fighting Al-Qaeda. So there's things I disagree with, and I'm allowed to do so.
Okay. So now Trump says, and I want to talk about Trump's cognitive stuff right here. Trump is now saying he's going to implement a 500% tariff on any country like India and China if they continue to buy oil/do business with Iran and Russia. This will piss off the entire world and hurt the American people. So Congress is putting together an embargo on Iran and Russia. Countries would just stop trading with the United States. Now, Trump already tried this once before, and India gave this to Trump and said, no, we're going to continue to buy Russian oil. Okay? So Trump backed off. And he did the same with China because China said, well, we're not going to continue to send you rare earth minerals. So now Trump is going back and urging Congress to do the same thing again. I mean, what's that saying? When you continue to make the same mistake over and over again, that's a form of cognitive decline. So I don't even know where he's coming from on this. This is insane. So that's another. He flip-flopped one way. He was going to put 500%. Then he flip-flopped. Oh no, we're not. Then he flip-flopped back and said, oh yeah, we are. I mean, what the freak is going on in the Trump administration? And then, of course, I don't know if you knew. I'm going to put a picture up right here. Susie Wiles is Trump's chief of staff, and if you didn't understand, she filters all the information that goes to Trump. She actually ran Netanyahu's campaign. So she's a huge Zionist. So anything that goes against Israel, like, the extermination of the Palestinians or anything, she's going to be filtering that. Okay? And then Trump will come out and he'll give wild, crazy numbers in Ukraine. He'll say, oh yeah, 25 million Russians are dead. The Ukrainians are killing more Russians than Russians are killing Ukrainians. Or it's an equal number. 25,000 people died last week. Well, remember in Lord of the Rings when Wormtongue was whispering in Theoden's ear? I'm hoping there's going to be some memes of Susie Wiles whispering in Trump's ear, because I think that he's getting bad information. Because he's not getting it. I mean, he's supposed to be talking to Tulsi Gabbard, and he's not letting her in, from what I understand. So, and then Susie Wiles, you saw that picture. She is one ugly woman, man. I would put her up against Nancy Pelosi in an ugly contest any day. What do you say? I mean, and that's who he's getting all his information from. No wonder his whole administration is going to hell in a handbasket. I think she's working against him 100%. If he don't fire her, he's screwed, man. Or the Trump administration is screwed. I mean, J.D. Vance had better be talking to Trump saying, we got to get rid of Susie Wiles. Just saying. All right, so let's see. We talked about Trump. Yeah, he's not in a cockpit. So now we're going to get into a whole new realm of the video. All right. And if you didn't know, Tucker Carlson just put up a video talking about the trail of social activity from Trump's shooter and how the FBI covered up all of that. It was one hell of a documentary. I encourage you to watch it. But I'll just read about it. The FBI is hiding and not investigating things. So here's an example, okay? Now, most people believe that it was the kid, what's his name, Tyler Robinson, that killed Charlie Kirk. And it seems like the evidence overwhelmingly is pointing in that direction. Although you got Chris Masterson who's coming out saying there was a second shooter, and he's really smart. But then there's another guy that did a whole 3D analysis, and he says, yes, it was Chris Robinson. But what a lot of people don't understand is FBI is not in charge of the investigation. So when Kash Patel dropped the investigation, that's perfectly okay. The problem is the FBI is in charge of investigating why that rooftop wasn't covered. Okay, now, the word is, okay, that Turning Point USA, who had excellent security, talked to the Utah Valley University, which is Orem, Utah, and they were going to put their own security on that rooftop, and the Utah Valley University said, no, we'll cover it with our security so that you guys can cover other places. That warrants an FBI investigation. Because what are the implications there? The fact that that rooftop wasn't covered means that somebody was plotting or could have been plotting against Charlie Kirk and left that rooftop unmanned on purpose. Now we got a conspiracy, right? I hate to get into the Charlie Kirk stuff again, but this is one that the FBI could have looked into. Now, if you didn't know, let's see. So who's actually doing the investigation right now? So Robinson, 22, he has been charged with the felony discharge of a firearm, causing serious bodily injury. What an understatement. Obstruction of justice, 2 counts of witness tampering, and commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child. So the Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, announced this on Tuesday. And so if you didn't understand, so they're the ones that are conducting the investigation. Now, they can't release anything while the investigation is still ongoing. So we might get a lot more information about the Charlie Kirk from Utah. And I trust Utah to give us the information because we still haven't got the autopsy report. There's a lot of things that haven't come out because until the trial takes place on this freaking lunatic, this Tyler Robinson, and I believe they're seeking the death penalty, and I hope he gets it, we're not going to know anymore. But that wasn't the FBI's responsibility to get us that information. It was the FBI's responsibility to investigate why that rooftop wasn't covered. Just saying. So now you got Jim Ferguson. Tucker Carlson says he will release evidence, and he did, proving the FBI is lying about the assassination attempt on President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Joe Rogan and Elon Musk have already exposed the insane inconsistencies surrounding Thomas Crooks. Now, I've talked about this in past videos, but I thought he summarized this very well. We're getting to the end of the video. I know you're getting tired. So his house was professionally scrubbed. No clothes, no cutlery, nothing. 0 internet footprint, wiped clean. No social media, wiped clean. Which, I guess they didn't wipe it clean enough. Trucker found it. I don't know how the hell he did that. I love it. Appeared in a BlackRock commercial. Cruz cremated his body immediately. I mean, it was like within 1 day or 2 days. That's the same that they did with Crooks. They were covering that up. 5 phones for a 20-year-old. What 20-year-old do you know has 5 phones? I mean, come on, man. You don't think there was something going on here. I don't know, man. I guess I got some swampland in Florida to sell to you. A phone reportedly traveled repeatedly from the FBI headquarters in D.C. to his home. No formal report, no detailed briefing, no press conference. CNN streamed the rally live. Extremely unusual. Crooks was seen with a rangefinder nearly 30 minutes beforehand. Secret Service blocked agents from the roof he used, claiming it was too dangerous, despite snipers on a steeper roof nearby. Random civilians pointed him out long before the shooting. His house was so empty it didn't even have silverware. Now, there was something else also that wasn't reported on here, was that there was an FBI drone, or maybe it could have been Secret Service, I can't remember, and it was down for whatever reason during the time that Crook's drone was flying. And so it was up before that, down when he flew his drone, and then went back up again. Riddle me that, Batman. Doesn't that seem like a little odd to you? It does to me. All right, so we'll watch this video. Rogan, this is completely insane. None of it makes sense. It does look like a coordinated assassination attempt. Musk, the inconsistencies are extreme. Don't you love how Musk puts things? Tucker, we have the proof of the FBI is lying and we're releasing it. We need answers. And this is the video of Joe Rogan and Elon talking about it.
I mean, why did that guy try to kill Trump and almost succeeded? Why did he do that?
Well, I'd like to know that.
Well, yeah, but
that one's crazy. You know the whole deal with that guy's house, professionally scrubbed, no footprint on the internet, no social media footprint.
Yeah, there's 0% chance that he has no social media footprint.
He was in a BlackRock commercial.
Do you think BlackRock's a bad company?
I don't think any company is a bad company. Okay. I think their design is to make as much money as humanly possible. And I think if you're trying to make as much money as humanly possible, you're going to do some things that aren't necessarily good. The question is, if you're going to have an assassination attempt on the president, it's not like BlackRock's board sits down and votes on it.
Yeah.
No, there's probably right.
That would be awkward. You know, in the board minutes, if you're like, guys, remember that time when we said
Yeah.
so we probably shouldn't have done that. You know?
I highly doubt it would be a corporation that chooses to do something like this. I think more likely it's individuals involved that recognize that it's beneficial to them if he gets assassinated. And so a small group of people carry something out. And with this kid, we don't know anything, right? And everyone stopped asking questions, and there was never a formal report. There was never press conferences where they detailed all the information that we know currently and where the investigation stands at the moment. What we know is you have a very young kid who was filmed, they knew he was there with a rangefinder a half an hour before the event. You also know that CNN streamed it live, which I do not believe they did for any other rally, and certainly not for a rally that's in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania. Like, there's a lot of weird shit. The fact that they wouldn't let people be on that roof because the Secret Service lady said it was sloped and it was dangerous. That's what she didn't want to have. Meanwhile, the snipers that were on the other roof was a steeper pitch. It made no fucking sense.
I totally agree. It makes no sense. In fact, I went back to Butler with President Trump, before the election, sort of like the Return to Butler rally. And I was on that stage, and I'm looking at that roof, and I'm like, if I was a sniper, my pole position, my number one spot would be that roof.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not?
No, it's so obvious.
It's the best seat in the house.
And
like, if you want to be a sniper, there isn't a better position.
It was pretty obvious that the idea was, like, if we're saying that this is a coordinated assassination attempt, and it very well could have been, that's what you would do. You'd have someone go up there, he shoots the president, you shoot him, you got Lee Harvey Oswald all over again.
JFK,
it's over. It's all wrapped up nice and
Yeah.
clean. They assassinated him. We never heard a peep about it. We don't have any idea. They would concoct some sort of story. He was radicalized by this or that, or, he was on medication. Who knows?
Right.
And now, you have a completely different presidential election, and you have a murder on live television.
Yeah. I mean, something would have had to happen to radicalize that kid, because he knew he was going to die. Like, he was going to, they're going to shoot him, or he'd be in prison for life. Those are the two outcomes. Like, it's game. He was basically, he was a suicide assassin.
Yeah.
Like, you're not thinking you're coming out of that alive, or he's not escaping. There's no escape plan.
Right. Unless he was told that they were going to let him escape, and the goal was to just shoot him anyway, and to tell him, give him extra motivation to do it. We're going to let you get up there. We're going to let you take the shot, and then you're going to disappear. Like, I don't understand how he got on the roof. I just don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. And it wasn't like it was a roof that's so high no one could see him. People saw him up there.
I mean, people, like, basically, random passersby were pointing out that there's a guy on the roof.
With a fucking gun.
With a gun, yes.
Yeah, it's not like he was so far away you couldn't tell he had a gun. People saw him.
Yeah.
The whole thing's completely insane.
Yeah.
And you don't hear a goddamn thing about it. It's like, I'm almost more interested in that. No, I am more interested in that than I am the JFK files.
I agree.
Because I feel like with the JFK files, it's so long ago.
Yeah, it's
everyone's dead. Who's going to know?
Right.
If you could prove now, and did you see that there was some sort of, there was some indications that there was a phone that had been traveling from outside the FBI offices in D.C. to
I saw that.
where this kid lived.
Right.
Multiple times.
I mean, the cell phone records would be very telling.
Yeah.
Because you can see what cell phones were close to other cell phones.
Well, I think they
like,
got
they
it
found
from...
that, like, for the Epstein Island, they also, the cell phone records were leaked, so you can see them. You can see it's precise enough. You can see people walking down a path on Epstein Island.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how precise it is. So, I mean, you're leaving a trail of breadcrumbs wherever you go with your cell phone.
Yeah. It's just, this kid had 5 phones. That's the other thing.
That's a lot of phones.
It's a lot of phones for a 20-year-old kid. The whole thing's
But
nuts.
how's he even? That's kind of expensive,
Yeah. Where's he getting the money?
Yeah.
Well, also, it's like, how did his house get professionally scrubbed? Didn't even have any silverware in his house. There's nothing in there.
There's silverware?
No.
Nothing, no cutlery.
No cutlery.
That's weird.
His house was scrubbed.
And
No-
they
no
also
hard
cremated
drives.
his body like
Oh, gone.
gone.
Like that. Yeah. Bye. Because who knows what the fuck they gave him to get him to think that he's going to be able to shoot Trump. Like, climb up on there, shoot him. Like, I mean, who knows what kind of psychotropic drugs you can put someone on and under the power of hypnosis and suggestion, and
Yeah.
who fucking knows? I mean, this is what MK Ultra was all about. This is what Jolly West was practicing in the 1960s. They were doing that back then. They did it. I mean, there was tons and tons of experiments using psychotropic drugs, hypnosis, mind control, all sorts of different methods of manipulation. The Harvard LSD studies that made Ted Kaczynski. I mean, that's they've been doing that forever.
Yeah.
Where's that file? Where's the fucking file on that kid? Whoever, they almost did
something
it.
doesn't add up. Like they should have those phones should they'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the video. I am on X at ThatCyberSecurityGuy. I'm on Rumble at the Burn channel. The Burn, all one word, no space. And the Florida Man News Network, that's Florida MNN, all one word, Florida MNN on YouTube. Peace out. Stay free. He's eyeballing me. Look at him. I don't know why these cats come here day after day, week after week. I don't feed them. I don't water them. But they're fun to watch. They play like crazy. There's a small one back here in the tree. Actually climbs that tree, which is crazy. Anyway, just wanted to get that. There he is. Can you see the small cat in the tree? There he is, flopping around. Oh my goodness. Yeah, unfortunately, I was wanting to get him. Oh, here comes the small cat. Here comes. Maybe he'll jump on the big cat. Nope. Okay. It's one of the things I don't like about the cats. That's a lizard. And they serve a good purpose here in Florida, and he's trying to eat the lizard. I called the animal place, and even if you get rid of the cats, they'll just neuter them and put them right back. And that lizard serves a good purpose. Plus, I can't see that kitten torturing that lizard. It seems horrible.